Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Zinikas, and I'm the founder of Starpreneur TV, How to Dominate the Decade Talk Show, World Women Conference and Awards, the creator of Coral Desk, the coach of the change makers, and co-author of the book From Zero to Success. My mission is to empower through education. And I want to congratulate you that you're watching today, because you are investing your time into your future, into yourself, into your personal growth. And thank you for doing so. Thank you for joining us. Today, I have the honor to talk with Adaobi Onyekweli. She is an inspirational coach who helps women make the transition from full-time mom to successful entrepreneur. As a mother and a cardiac arrest survivor, she started her coaching business using her reinvention mastery program. So let's hear about her, who she is, and about her program. So welcome, Adaobi. Tell us your story, who you are, why you're doing what you're doing.
Hello, thank you very much, Ragnar, for inviting me on this platform. My name is Adaobi. I'm an inspirational coach. And why I decided to do this is because some time ago, I had some life experience that actually stopped me from thinking that I had any choice in what I had to do. But when I recovered, I now felt that there were a lot of women in this situation, or people that needed help, because I didn't find support. There was no support at all. I was just discharged, and that was the way to go home. So this made me start putting my thoughts and ideas, and I decided to write this book, Reinvent Yourself, and that is what gave me the platform to start reaching out to other women and men.
By going through this life experience, I'm pretty sure that today it's very clear for you what is the passion and what is the purpose of your life. But would you mind to share that with us?
The purpose of my life is to make a difference. I believe that all of us have to leave something on this planet before going. And that was what motivated me. Because I was told that they tried to switch off my life support after the cardiac arrest. I had 5 cardiac arrests, and the trying to switch off my life support was very sad for me. And I said, it now made me realize that anybody can die at any time. So the best I can do is to start looking after myself and prioritizing my life. And that was what I do.
So that's wow, that's for sure. Hopefully nobody needs to go through in order to understand their life purpose. But definitely that's a life experience which changes the way that you see every single detail about yourself and about your life and the things that you really want to stand for in this life, no? But what would you say as today you're working with a lot of people and sort of becoming their hope and their fulfillment tool, sort of to reach their dreams and to reach their potential. So how do you distinguish yourself in business and life? What is that unique thing about you? What people usually say that, you know what, that's why I started to work with you, because that's why what's so special about you. What would you say what it is?
Yes, there are lots of people that do the same thing that I do, but they don't have the experience. when I go on stage and talk about what has happened to me, I am speaking about it from a point of experience, because I actually went through that traumatic experience, which made me better at saying things. So I can talk from where I am, and I can actually put what's unique about me. People tell me that I actually speak to their hearts because I felt all I'm talking about. It's not something I read. I went through it, and I tell people so that they don't have to go through it, but I impact what I've learned, and they could actually see the difference immediately. Yeah.
You're inviting people to reinvent themselves. What does it really mean? In a sense that what is the definition of reinvention? Maybe people don't just understand what the word means, and they understand what they should do in order to reinvent themselves. Just deconstruct the word itself.
Actually, reinvention is not new. Reinvention takes place daily. But the one thing that is lacking is reinventing the outside. Because when you eat, the food gets digested, it changes. But for human beings, we only see the outside. We don't see the changes. We can see it in other people, but we don't see it in ourselves. So by reinventing means when there's change, you have to adapt. It's actually an adaptability. Like when I woke up from 2 months in coma, I couldn't do what I used to do. I used to be a lifestyle advocate. I teach people about healthy eating. But I couldn't do all that at the moment because it requires a lot of energy. So I had to adapt and start working on the mindset. And that was what helped me. So I show people how to be aware of the external situation and accept it, because it's only when they are aware that they can make the shift. So I help people to shift from just taking things to being aware and then change. That's what I do.
Okay, so let's talk about then also from the perspective, if someone is looking, watching now and listening, why should they reinvent themselves? Why is it so important?
It is important to reinvent because we go through a lot of things in life. People feel depressed, they feel unhappy, they get laid off, especially in this COVID-19. When you have the skills to reinvent, it could just go like this. Because when you don't learn to reinvent yourself, you could be stagnant. It creates stagnation, it creates depression. Even if you're a high flyer, you still need to reinvent yourself, because it's not about money. It's about changing your current situation. So when somebody learns to reinvent themselves, that is what will take them day to day. Because we don't have to do it every day. It's not just once. Like the sun comes in the morning and it goes in the evening. We have to, every day, we have to want to reinvent ourselves so that we can achieve our utmost goal.
And what would you say, what are the consequences when someone doesn't do it? Like you have now mentioned many times that it's a daily job, like you really need to do it daily. What is the consequence if someone doesn't do it?
The consequences of not reinventing yourself is that you could be earning a lot of money, but you don't feel happiness. You just feel that you're just working for other people. Nobody recognizes you. You are not significant. And for mothers especially, or single parents, or you are looking after the children. and nobody appreciates you. You have to reinvent yourself to a state that it will help you to move forward. Otherwise, you're going to get depressed. You're going to get unappreciated. You are going to put on a lot of weight because you don't think that you have to change anything. And in the worst scenario, if you get sick, let's say you don't look after yourself, no self-care, and you get sick, that could lead to serious consequences. Some might come out of it alive, but for some people, it's something that they don't want to think about. So if you don't reinvent yourself, sometimes some of the consequences could be there.
So in all, we do go back to our beliefs, and especially the self-love and the way that we see ourselves, no? So
Precisely.
everything starts there. So if we don't, as they say, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else will do. If you don't love yourself, nobody else will love you. If you whatever it is, we need to really understand that everything starts internally and reflects everything which is externally. So it's a beautiful beautiful way to see it, that I really love that you mentioned that it is a daily work. And I think a lot of people do not think about it that way, because they think that it's something that we need to do once in a while, or something that we need to think about exactly when we are experiencing those circumstances in our life, when we come out from the doctor's office and we have been said that, or given diagnosis, or worst case scenario, we are already in the emergency room and we're like, how did we end up here? No. So there's very, we are so focused, and especially I see it with women, because we always put everything, and especially when we have kids, we put everything in front, like everything needs attention before us, ourselves, really taking care of ourselves. And I think always the best, my coach has always told me, like when I start to do again this everything for the for other people and all of that, and he starts to show me this. And first when he did that, I was like, are you okay? Like, do you need something? It's like, no, I'm going to show you this many times. And I'm like, what's this? Do you know, when you are in an airplane, what do they say to you? I'm like, put the mask on first yourself and then to others. And why do you think it's like that? Because I can't help others if I'm not okay. Well, why don't you apply that to your life? And I'm like, oh my God, it's so easy. And again, like, we are so focused on everything else in our lives. And as you mentioned, if you don't take care of your health, this is going to end with a catastrophe or chaos. And not only for you, but it's going to reflect on the lives of your kids, your spouse, and whoever is involved. So, about your book, the inspiration was your experience, and did the book ended up being something which is sort of like a workbook that you really go through and has like tasks, for example, to take time for the reflection, specific the to-do lists. Tell us a little more about your book and your coaching program. Like, what is the structure of it, and what topics do you really go through?
Okay, my book is about the experiences that I have while I suffered the 5 cardiac arrests, and how these processes I took to get myself back. That's one part of the book. But what I've done extra is to show people that, the readers, of course, that when you apply certain things, like you said, the mask and everything, when you apply them daily, you could actually see the difference. So I've sort of given about 17 steps that it's like a blind spot. We don't see it. 17 steps, things that like some of them are like gratitude, forgiveness, and so on. But there's 17 altogether. And it shows you how each one impacts. But I've been told that people need a workbook because they wanted to find out how they can apply it, like something like a workbook to go. I haven't done that yet, but the book actually has an awareness stage where people can, when reading it, they are aware of things they are missing. And these things are very important, very, very important. So once everyone that has read my book have come back, giving me good reviews, telling me that, it actually made them think of things they never used to think before. So because of that, I'm actually happy that, because it started with me telling my friends about it, and my friends come back to me, oh, can you tell these people? And I decided that I don't want to be selfish with my knowledge. So if I put it in a book, it can go around the world. And that is what it did.
Very inspirational, and of course awareness where it all starts, and we see that our society has really been sleeping for a long time, and we are born into our greatness, but then something happens, whether it's a whale that the society puts in front of us and we just lose the curiosity about life. We lose everything that really sparks inside of us, because we just want to be like others, and we want to reach the same mountain tops that others, and we get into this rat race, and then we're so close to burnout. And as you said, 5 cardiac attacks. This is like, my God, I even don't know who have survived that many. I barely know people that have survived one. So you're talking about 5. So
I had it in 4 days. It happened in 4 days.
wow, this is something that you can really start to have 5 birthdays, because you have been given the gift of life for 5 times in a row. So, but I think what a lot of people are noticing now, and as we see what's going on in the society, is this awakening of and the understanding that I really need to know who I am in order to make difference in my life, and not to mention to someone else's life. But what do you think, what the future will bring to you personally and professionally?
The future will bring a lot of positivity, because right now there's something going on. People are beginning to awaken. They feel that they don't have to be at the job all the time by giving the job priority. So because of that, I've been called a lot to come, and I've been called to companies, to offices, to come and talk about how people can make the shift from just existing or just thinking about money to thinking about the self, because the self is what we don't think about. And I am happy to be part of the contributing factor, because and my interest is the younger generation, because they have learned just about money and about probably about being film stars and everything, but they didn't learn about self. So I was in India, where I spoke to over 5,000 secondary school students, and they were quite intrigued because I taught them about how they can live just by taking the intuition from the inside and apply it to things. It doesn't say that you can't make money, but you have to do it with your soul.
Exactly. There are many forms of wealth, and financial wealth is just one of them. And as mentioned before, everything starts within, and I think that's the greatest shift also in our leadership today, because it has always been very psychology and mind focused, where now we see a lot of women leaders rising, and rather just you mentioned the intuition and the gut feeling, which always has been something like very soft skill and sort of a sign of weakness, which we see actually even with today's scientists are more and more confirming the fact that it's actually very important part of whether we are leaders with or without titles, no? But I'm very curious to know your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade. But before you give us the recommendations, you that you're watching this video, please comment, please leave your messages, please leave your questions below the video, because once the video has been premiered, we will take care of them. We will answer you for sure. And please share your thoughts with us on the topic. Share your life experiences with us, and believe me, everybody can learn from someone else's experience. And when we do that, it's actually a sign of genius, because we don't do the mistake ourselves. And the mistakes usually are the biggest teachers of all times. So which are your 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade?
Well, my 3 recommendations are: number 1, you are unique. Everybody on this earth has come to leave a gift. Sometimes we think, okay, because I'm an immigrant, my parents are poor, or all sorts of things, you know, I'm white, I'm black, I'm this. And you don't play, you don't try, you just keep playing small. There's a saying in Africa: if you want to see how a small person can make a difference, try staying in the same tent with a mosquito. Just one mosquito. So don't limit yourself. Don't let whatever you are, whether you are tall, fat, whatever, you can make a difference. And it's just by, look at the little girl, the one doing there's Malala from India. She's not a millionaire, but she made a difference. And there's the one doing about the environment, the little girl as well. So you can say these people are making a difference, creating a movement. So don't limit yourself. You are unique. Number 2, you have to find the skill in you. Everybody has a skill. It could be just, if you're a painter, you can try to be the best painter. You don't have to be Michelangelo, but by using your own skill, you could actually change. And so people that are some women, they could be at home complaining that, oh, they can't get a job, but they're very good in baking, they're very good in cooking. They could actually look for the inside of what you can do, because everybody has a gift. So use your gift. Don't let anybody, tell you that you can't use it. And the last one is something that we don't do, and that is forgiveness. Because so many people spend their life reminiscing about things done to them and everything, and that you cannot move forward. You cannot. But when you free yourself, forgive people, and that will allow you to see, because it's like a blockage. It's blocking your eyes. You're worried about everybody. But in order to be able to be free and see the gift that is raining down on you, you have to forgive. So be unique, use your gifts, and forgive. Because the decade is changing. It's not like before. It's changing so fast that now we need people with soul, with conscience, and people who are not afraid to strike and take what they can, and also show their gifts.
Beautiful recommendations, and I hope that whoever you're watching, you had your pen and your paper and you wrote them down. If not, go back to this video and do so. So Adaobi, if people want to follow you, if they want to contact you, how they can do so?
I have a website. It's called AdaobiOnyekweli.com. I'm also on Facebook, Adaobi Onyekweli on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram, Adaobi Onyekweli.
Beautiful.
Just together, yeah.
So if there is one message that you want people to take out of this interview, what that would be?
One message I have is that you have to take every day, you have to reinvent yourself daily, because when you don't, you're going to get the webs covering your beauty. Because when you don't move to do anything. Others take your position. So when you don't reinvent, you stagnate. If you don't reinvent, you stagnate. So reinvent to move forward.
That's a beautiful message, and the only thing which I can comment on that, so the things that you wrote down today, not just write them down, but also take action on them. So if you take action on them, you become the hero of your life, because you're able to actually change your life and live the life that you want and deserve. But you can also become the hero of your life or someone else's life. How? By sharing this video. Because we never know who needs to hear Adobe's story in order to change their life. So become the hero of your own life and someone else's life. Share the video. Adaobi, thank you very much for joining us. It's already afternoon. If I'm not mistaken, you are in London currently.
Yes, London.
So thank you very much for investing your time into our audience to share your story. Your story has been very inspirational. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Keep on shining and inspiring all the other people. And I'm pretty sure that soon we're going to hear more about you. Thank you for joining us. And it was a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you.